I didn't really believe Ram Dass when he said that, at least I remember this is something that he had like mentioned or said, but when he said something about like, when you get really clear, when you like empty out your heart essentially, that is when you can feel the strongest. And let me open this. Oh, look at that sky, it's beautiful. Or that like when you really let go of anger, that is when you can get really angry, because divine rage. And I'm realizing that like my internal escape is sunshine now. It's good. I don't need to keep checking in with it now because it's just perpetually good. And like if something comes up and happens, even when I do check in with it, it's still good. It's still okay. It's still fine. Huh. So it's just interesting. And like I'll listen to things and like I cry more openly now. Like tears come easier now when I see other people's suffering than it did before, I think. Because my heart space was so stopped up with so many things going on. Or like it's not even just like suffering. Like yes, that, but like things can reach me now in a way that like they couldn't truly reach me before. And I think that's remarkable. I have no idea what's coming next. I'm finally facing that. I'm finally facing the fact that I really just don't know. In any given moment, I have no idea. Truly, anything could happen. And I used to try to, I used to try to, distract myself, give myself some sort of false sense of control using spirituality. And like, there are things that I know sometimes. That is very true. But I don't know them all the time. And more often than not, I don't know what's happening or what's going to happen. There are things specifically that I get feelings about that I just know. And the rest of the time, I don't. But it feels so much more, I guess, appeasing to my ego when I know. And so I've been living in this mental state, I think, for a while of, no, but everything's gonna work out. No, but everything's gonna be okay. No, but I know that things are gonna be just fine. And see, anytime I would say that, I would get this like flare up of anxiety inside of me because I'd be like, well, actually, do I know that? I don't really know anything. I believe, I trust, I have faith, but I don't actually know, you know? And I think I'm leaning more into my faith right now, maybe than I ever really have before. Because I am able to confront the fact that I just don't know. I just don't. And that's okay. I have no idea what's gonna happen. And that's all right. I don't need to. I don't need to know what's gonna happen or how things are gonna play out until they do. And I am growing immune to that, I think. Building up a, core with that. So, yeah. I've been also, I actually don't know if I feel called to share that. I'm gonna be going to a farmer's market today, depending on what time I end up leaving, because it's over at 2, but there's this beeswax there's this beeswax like company thingy that makes candles out of beeswax, and I wasn't able to purchase one because of, you know, circumstances, when I went last time, but he gave me a free little, like the tea light ones, and I swear that felt so good. And like, it's non-scented, but you can smell, like, the smell of beeswax is just so heartening. Like it feels so good. There we go. 10 of plants and the 4 of chalices in reverse. Child of plants. The plants, I believe, is the pentacles, 10 of pentacles. And it's got all of us together. Like, the hands are so beautiful. By the way, this is the, it's Tarot for You and Me, a queer deck and guidebook. But this one is about us coming together. All of us, every part of us coming together. And that's what I've been calling in. And that's where, like, a lot of my struggles have been kind of coming in too, where, like, struggles, I don't know. But that's what I've been actively desiring recently, is community. To work in and with my community. And this is kind of where I'm leaving, you know? I'm leaving this hunched over, trying to figure everything out, anxiety place. That's what I'm leaving. The stress about bills. The using substance. I mean, I trigger warning, but I don't really use substances to cope, but I use other things to cope. I overeat, or I will, I am moving away from this. This was actively a part of the foundation of who I was that I'm moving away from, you know? But, yeah. Sleep stuff. There was a lot of stuff that I would use to try to feel a semblance of comfort and control amidst feeling out of control. But I'm being called into a place of peace when it comes to not being in control. I can feel it. And I'm really just not. The 10 of Lanterns, which I believe is... I'm really uncertain about. I think it's more inspirational. I don't think it's exact. So we'll do 10 of Plants. Community, wealthy, achievements. Abundance is your birthright, mama. The 10 of Plants is recognizing all the achievements you have made and the wealth of spirit you feel right now. Yeah. This is where I'm moving toward. That feels very important to me. And it's interesting because this in reverse is what I see this as upright. What I'm interpreting this as upright. And it's interesting because when I had first flipped them over, they were both the opposite. So this was in reverse. And this was upright. But it didn't feel right. My senses were like, no. I was like, that's not right. Well, no, my senses were like, no. Let's see, 4 of Chalices. Oh. This in reverse alludes to the feeling of complacency. What would it take for you to try something new and different instead of doing what you've always done, knowing that you're unhappy? This is about being open to opportunity and being willing and ready to change things up so that you aren't remaining in a space of complacency and fixation. The only way from here is up, and you're the only person who can oversee what that looks like at this point, at this specific moment in time. You know, I've been reading a book, and it feels really good to connect me back to my ability to learn, and in a way that feels authentic to me and not just like I'm doing it for grades or I'm doing it to get some sort of outcome, but I'm literally just learning because I want to. And I'm not doing it in some sort of fucking structured way. But I've been reading this book, and something that was brought up in it was how my brain refreshed a little bit. Hold on. What was I just saying? So, complacency and taking action, and it doesn't have to be physical action. I feel like it's mental and emotional action. Oh, yes. Something that was kind of mentioned in here is, and also in the book that I'm reading, is that we have a hand in our fate. And that, sure, there's a lot of stuff we don't know is going to happen. And we are direct contributors to the things that happened. The lives we live right now are direct results of the lives that we had been living. At least, there are exceptions to that, like those of us who are prisoners of war or who are experiencing genocide. Like, there are, of course, outstanding circumstances that alter that and that contextualize that differently. I'm specifically talking about how we still have a hand in our fate. Even in those circumstances, there are still things that we can do each day that have an impact on us and the people around us. And it doesn't have to be like the biggest things. It also doesn't have to be the smallest things. It is, we still have a hand in our fate. That is how we have not a semblance of control, but a direct relation to the moments we live. We have the ability to impact our worlds. And I think that's what it's talking about. I'm moving through utilizing this energy and alchemizing it. That is one of the things that I do best, is alchemizing the things I experience. But through alchemizing these things, these emotions that I had been feeling, because this is exactly how I had been feeling. It was exactly how I was feeling. Stressed about so many things, about truly so many things, where things were going, what was going to happen. And instead, utilizing that, not necessarily utilizing that, but transmuting that. And focusing on where I'm going, where I want to go, the kind of life I want to live, which is one in direct relation to my community. whatever community that ends up being. Specifically, just any community around me, like my local community is really what I'm looking for. Well, actually, I don't feel like talking about that, but, yeah, like, that's what I'm moving away from, which is beautiful, and I'm grateful for that. And I think it's time for me to probably go make a smoothie and, head on out to the farmer's market. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching if you did, but also, I'm not doing this for you, so have a good day if you were here, and if not, you'll never see this, so bye.